So in this video, we're going to be working with one of the most known theorem, right? The Pythagorean theorem. That it says that if a triangle is right, then the sum of the square of the length of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse, right? So that means in an equation that a squared plus b squared equals 6c squared, right? Remember that the hypotenuse is the side that is opposite to c, right? And any two numbers that satisfies that equation is called a Pythagorean theorem. So, for example, 3, 4, and 5, 5, 12, and 13, 8, 15, and 17, and 7, 24, 25 are Pythagorean theorem. So let's see this is some exercise, right? So I'm going to start by finding the missing side of each triangle. Right? So I'm going to start by writing this one. So again, the sum of the legs square equals to the hypotenuse square, right? So x squared plus 25 equals 169. So minus 25, x squared equals 144. And the square root on both sides, so x equals 12 miles. So number 2, again, x squared plus 6 squared equals 10 squared. So x squared plus 36 equals 100 minus 36. X squared equals 64. So the square root x equals 8 miles, right? This is also a multiple of a Pythagorean theorem, right? So this is 8 miles. So as you can see, this is a multiple of the Pythagorean theorem 3, 4, and 5. So any multiple of a Pythagorean theorem is also a Pythagorean theorem. So if I multiply everything times 2, I have 6, 8, and 5. So 6, 8, and 10. So the next one I have 3, 5, and x. Okay. Using Pythagorean theorem, I mean 3, 4, and 5. I know that this one is going to be 4, 3, right? I'm going to prove it using the Pythagorean theorem. So 3x squared plus x squared equals 5 squared. So 9 plus x squared equals 25 minus 9, x squared equals 16, and the square root of both sides is 4, 3. I want to leave it in the simplest radical form. So this I have my variable is in the hypotenuse. So that means that 5 squared plus 5 squared equals x squared. So 25 plus 25 equals x squared. So 50 equals x squared. The square root, so x equals the square root of 50. I can split it as 25 times 2. Right? I know that 50 is 5 times 10 and 25 times 2. So I'm using the second one because it has one of the multiple has a perfect square root. So now the square root of 25 is 5 square root 2 minus. Right? As you can see, this one is a theorem that we're going to see in our next lesson, right? Where this is isosceles, so that means that these two angles are congruent, and because it's a right triangle, that means that those angles are 45 and 45, right? As you can see, this is the side, the legs, the hypotenuse is the legs, multiplied times the square root of 2. That we're going to go over more deeply in the next video. So number 5, my legs are x and the square root of 5. So I have x squared plus the square root of 5 squared equals 4 squared. So x squared plus 5 equals 16 minus 5 x squared equals 11, and the square root on both sides, x equals the square root of 11. So x squared plus 10 squared equals 14 squared. So x squared plus 100 equals 196. So minus 100. X squared equals 96, and the square root on both sides. So x squared equals the square root of 4 times 14. So x equals 2 square root of 14 centimeters. So again, my variable is in the hypotenuse, so that means that x squared equals 4 squared plus 9 squared. So x squared equals 16 plus 81. X squared equals 97. And the square root of both sides equals the square root of 97 joules. Okay, so now we can use the converse of the Pythagorean theorem to determine if, given the measures of a triangle, if that triangle is acute, right out of use. If the sum of the two smallest sides, the square of the two smallest sides, is greater than the third side, the square of the third side, that means that it's an acute triangle. If that sum is equal to, is a right triangle, and if it's less than, it's an obtuse triangle. Okay, so let's see this information. Couple of exercises. So I want to determine if the triangle is acute or not. So my first step is to check that if I have the measures for a triangle. So we saw in a previous video that if you add two numbers, that has to be greater than the third side. So 5 plus 12 is 17, so 17 is greater than 15. So plus 5 plus 15 is 20. 20 is greater than 12, and 12 plus 15 is 27. That's greater than 5. So those three measures form a triangle. So now I want to determine what type of triangle I have. So I'm going to take the smallest two numbers, so 5 squared plus 12 squared, and I'm going to compare that to the larger side. So 25 plus 144, 15 squared is 225, 169, 225. So 225 is greater than 169. So guess the longest side, the square of the longest side is greater than the sum of the other two sides square. That means that this is an obtuse triangle. Next one first. My first step again, I'm gonna check. So right, 6 plus 8. So 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 is greater than 10. So 6 plus 10 is 16. 16 is greater than 8. And 8 plus 10 is 18. 18 is greater than 6. So that means that I have a triangle. So now 6 squared plus 8 squared, 10 squared. So 36 plus 64. This is 100. So 100. So 100 equals 100. So that means that this is going to be a right triangle. So 6 plus 8 equals 14. 14 is greater than 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 is greater than 8. And 8 plus 9 equals 17. And 17 is greater than 6. So now 6 squared plus 8 squared. And I'm going to compare to 9 squared. So 36 plus 64. This is 81. So 100 is greater than 81. So that means that this is an acute triangle. Okay, so in this case, I have a square is thrown inside of a circle, so that its vertices touches the circle. So that I have it the figure right here. If the radius of the circle is marked right here, so if this is 15, that means that the diameter is the whole segment is 30, right? Centimeters. Now, I want to know the perimeter of the square. So that means that I need to find its sides, right? But as you know, all the sides of a perimeter of a square are congruent, right? I know that this angle is a right angle, and I also know that a square bisect two opposite angles, so those are 45. So I have that x squared plus x squared equals 30 squared. So 2x squared equals 900 divided by 2, so x squared equals 450. And the square root of that equals 2. To the square root of 225 times 2. So x equals 15 square root of 2 centimeters. So each side measures 15 square root of 2. So now my perimeter equals 4 times each side, so 15 square root of 2. So this is 60 square root of 2 centimeters. And that's it. And that's it for this lesson. May the force be with you.